Mrs. Palua cried out in the Senate. Nothing actually happened. Till today, nothing has happened as we talk. That is the level of negligence to the people. If not for anything, the spill is still there. If not for anything, you organize a relief package for the people. Take care of how their health situations. Because with the spill and the fire, the air quality is bad. I don't want to talk about the marine life in now. Let us even just look at what ordinary human being will observe. The health quality, the air they breathe is poisoned. And these are respiratory issues that have immediate and later dangerous effects on human health. The products of spill are not tea and bread. They are poisonous toxins. There are a lot of heavy metals, what we call heavy metals. They have a lot of polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, and their derivatives like formaldehydes, which are killers. In fact, in the polycyclic aromatic carbons, there is a group we call the IRAC, the first 16. You know, the International Agency for the Research of Cancer has identified 16 of the cancer family that are killers, that they can kill. And even in the heavy metals, it depends on the speciation that you do. They could be very, very, very dangerous. Now, what I mean by speciation, you will not understand. When we talk about the quantitative abundance, we are talking about stoichiometry. But when we talk of speciation, we are talking of the rate at which a particular thing can kill. Like now, if you let me dramatize it so that you understand. If you see a Gabriella having bread and tea, she's not that poisonous, or maybe she has just skin. Understand? She's not that poisonous. But there could be a part of Gabriella that can carry machete and gun. That can kill so easily. That is in the speciation for you. Chromium can exist in different ways. If you see a chromium 3, it's easily separatable. But if you see a chromium 6, which is very, very mixable with water, it kills faster. The rate at which it kills is faster than the rate chromium 3 kills. So these are the issues. Now, you also look at the livelihoods of the people.
Now, before we get to the livelihood of the people, you've made some very important points there. You've mentioned that there's been a high level of negligence by NASDRA, and up until now, just to confirm, there's been no kind of relief material sent to the victims of the outbreak up until now.
Gabriella, as I speak with you, even last night, I got in touch with the people of Buguma. I got in touch with the people of Bukuma. The two communities, the name, the difference is between G and K. Bukuma shares the same land with Tombia, whereas a drive across the Agum River will get you to Buguma. There is no relief material from anybody whatsoever on the surface of this earth, from those, to those two communities and other settlements around there. There is no relief material or any form of intervention to the other cause of, to the other communities where this thing has spread to.
All right, we're going to have to take a very quick commercial break shortly, and when we come back, we'll obviously talk more on this and also touch on the lack of accountability you mentioned, and what possibly can be done about that, and touch on other matters. You can also be a part of the conversation. We're now streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube at Nigeria Info Abuja, so you can go on there and watch us as you drop your comments and thoughts on there as well, and we'll take them right after the break. Don't go away.
More talk, news, and sports after this.
is Nigeria Info. Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info. Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info. Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info. Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info. Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info. Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info. Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info. Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info. Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info. Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info. Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info. Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info. Nigeria Info.
That have directed an urgent investigation into the cause of a recent fire outbreak and spill in Boguma area of Rivers State. And this resolution was to address some of the impacts, humanitarian impacts, environmental impacts on the affected communities. NOSRA as well has been ordered to conduct an immediate investigation and submit a report within 4 weeks. I'm joined by a guest, Mr. Christian Otisah, who's helping us understand, what the implications of these are, especially in the Niger Delta region. He's a lecturer and a stakeholder in that region. Thank you so much for staying with us so far, Mr. Christian.
Gabriella, thank you. My correct appellation is Dr. Otisah.
Oh, apologies, Dr. Otisah. Thank you so much for the correction. All right, so let's get right into it. Just before we went on the break, we were talking about, the high level of negligence, as you had mentioned, by NOSDRA. And of course, when it comes to accountability, I'd like us to pick up from there. The issue of accountability is an age-long conversation. And just like you rightly mentioned, who's gonna will they self-assess, themselves? So in that light, what would you say to possibly be the solution to demanding for accountability, better accountability as regards the oil spillage in that region?
Okay, Gabriella, we have talked this in several times, in conferences, in peer meetings, and whenever this kind of ugly incidents is happening, it brings to fore the issues of accountability and palpable neglect of the Niger Delta. Things have not changed, but for the purposes of record, let us say it again. Like I said before, you cannot regulate yourself and expect to be partner. There is also this magazine, or this important point that environmental managers have come to establish over time, that beyond the factors of location, factors responsible for location and classification of industry that we know, jurisdictional inability, I repeat, jurisdictional inability for stringent environmental compliance enforcement is a factor of either location or translocation of these hydrocarbon companies. And that is why Nigeria and the third world countries will continue to be dirty for Europe to be clean. You understand? So by way of suggestion, you see that NOSDRA in the first place is not adequately staffed. NOSDRA does not have the latest technology to be able to respond to issues of this very swiftly. Now, you see that NMPCL, the owners of the OML, they did not go until NOSDRA went to tell you that they are backward.
Are you there?
There should be active collaboration with satellite providing companies like Niger, Satcom, NOAA, and all that. Now, they combine that with what we call real-time geography, living geography, so that when these things happen, real time, those people will be able to tell them that there's a facility here, this is what we are seeing, let's respond to it on time. So it is not when they wait until this has devastated the community begins to shout before they respond. It will be a matter of obligation for them to be acting in good conscience, so that because these satellite images will be real time. That is number one. Number two, I want to let you know that if a person is not stationed to do what he is supposed to do, then something is wrong. There should be an audit of these bodies. Why are they not able to respond when they are supposed to respond? Is it that funds are not there? Is it that means of doing these things are not there? We should know and plan for it. Then there should be this category, a contingent plan, a contingency plan on standby in various positions of the Niger Delta. Just like when we keep fire service at various locations to respond to emergencies, spill emergencies. Then even the National Emergency Agency, another ecological fund, should be on standby. So when once it comes like this, and once a year, fly in. The people will not kill you. The people are looking for succor. So fly in and be able to see that you are memory the pain of the people. Health impacts. That should be health delivery to the people. Because as they are now, their water is bad. They cannot eat. So many things are wrong. They are inhaling bad air. People are not attend to them. That's what I think they should do in terms of this thing. Then even the cleanup, when as you go, contain it first, irrespective of the cost of the spill. Contain it so that the spatial spread, the spatial sensitivity will be reduced. It will be manageable. But if you don't contain it, then keep spreading. At some point, it will lose value. I mean, you lose count of where it has gone to, and these are marine environment where over time, these things will have affinity with particulate matter and begin to do a vertical sinking into the sediment. When sediment being the highest pollutants of nature are affected, there could be remote implications. Some of these things will be buried as legacies, and there could be remote implications to marine health and human health. Because anything that affects the environment affects human beings. If it affects the marine health, you buy fish, you buy crayfish, you buy it will also affect you.
Right.
Cancer will come, other diseases will come. So these are some of the things. Then the Senate should go beyond. They have done a good work, but I think they should go beyond this to even audit these people. What is happening? Audit these people, both Nostra and the prospecting companies. What is happening that there will be a long time of non-response to the point that there is a criminal negligence somewhere. Until people go in for it, Nigeria will not do it. And when these things accumulate and people begin to behave, you see them as criminals, will deploy all the military to attack them. It does not start on. And again, like the Senate should have published this ready-made answer in the hands of Niger and prospecting companies. The issue of scapegoatism, anything that happens is scapegoat. Anything that happens is third-party interference. It's not so. When did they change their pipelines? When did they change their oil wells, their wellheads and all that? These are some of the issues that will give you impression to the fact that some of these things they claim that are sabotage are actually not sabotage, but they are operational spill. So these things should be done.
Now, let's even talk about the role of these people within the communities. Why are we not seeing, some level of satisfactory engagement between these community people? I mean, the indigents in these communities. Why aren't we seeing, some high level of involvement? Because they are the first, they are the first people who are affected by the negative impacts of these factors in that region. So, what's going on in that regard?
No, Gabriella, that's not true. The people have been reasonably involved. Now, the fires and spills we are talking about, prior to this time, you already know that if you get close, you'll be labeled as a sabotage. You are the person that sabotaged it. So the people are careful. That is number one. Number two, the only way they respond is when they see these things and they shout. Now, it's important how they synthesize this shouting, this information given by the natives. If the natives in the shout, they have the authorities have to synthesize that information for good in good time. But if the people are neglected, now if they cannot, the natives do not have what it takes to stop spilling, because first the facility is not their own. If you are going along the facility, you see high pressure point, do not anchor. There's even a warning. Then now a spill has developed to fire. It is not as if one house is burning where we'll take bucket and fetch water to quench. No, this is fire, still fire, voluminous, ferocious. So the natives are handicapped to do whatever. It's about running for their safety, running for their lives. So the best they can do is the alarm they have raised over time. Let me also let you know that to raise alarm itself costs money. The people are living in some level of squalor. Where do they have the money to even keep raising that alarm for a sustained time? These are issues we need to deal with. So the people have done what they expect, what they are expected to do. It is how the government or the bodies concerned respond and synthesize what they use that information to do. That is the question here.
Right. Okay. So we do have to wrap this up shortly. We have some comments here on WhatsApp. I think I'll just take one and then I'll have you share your final thoughts on this matter. Oludade Abiodun says, good morning once again. Niger Delta needs serious attention because that's where what is making Nigeria to be one of the oil-rich countries is coming from. But unfortunately, the people of that area cannot fish and they cannot farm, and also their roads are not motorable. I urge the Nigerian government to be serious about environment and making the Niger Delta conducive for the inhabitants. So Oludade Abiodun sent that in. Thank you so much for that. Now, let me come back to you, Dr. Otisah. Final thoughts. I know this is a conversation that we have to keep bringing to the fore until until we see the desired change or the desired results that we seek. What I mean, you've already preferred brilliant solutions to what can be done, on the part of the government and these agencies going forward. I mean, now the Senate has ordered, NOSRA to do a thorough investigation and submit a report in the next 4 weeks. Are you positive that this will yield some positive impacts that we'll want to see in that region?
Gabriella, I am not positive. It will be Pyrrhic. Whatever. I'm not trying to preempt them, but considering what has happened over the time, if there's a trend, and geographic trend matters a lot. Oil operations have taken over 4 to 5 decades in the Niger Delta. And if a person or a group of persons keep behaving the same way, they say you cannot learn to use the left hand at old age. I do not see. You can see pretenses of actions that will not see any real impact. Now, to tell you that it will not yield anything, 4 weeks to investigate this is even too much. I was expecting that they would say under 7 working days, this investigation report should be on their table. 4 weeks is just to give time for manipulation, for conspiracies against the handicapped people of the community. That is what I'm talking about. 4 weeks, by the time you do 4 weeks, then we will need to go and do beyond physical observation. We need to go do scientific observation. What I mean by scientific observation is that, like when I was talking, I made reference to the fact that oil fields deposit so many toxins into the river. Then some of these toxins will, over time, they will go down a vertical drive. And as they go vertical, they have affinity with particulate matter. They will drive from the open river, the surface water, into the sediments. Then they will be buried in the sediment, and they will become what we call legacy pollutants. Right. So when you go and look at the river, the tidal water may have drained some of them down. Then how do you see the legacy pollutants in the sediment? These are scientific investigations that need to be done. All right. So to give them at least a clue of what will happen, what is happening, 1 week would have been enough. 4 weeks is too much. 4 weeks is to enable them to compare against the indigenous. That's what I think. Then what they should command is that immediate in capital letters and bold, immediate response. Because we're talking about a spill that spatially has extended to 3 LGs. 3 LGs. Bukuma is in Degema geographically. The river that crosses them has affected Buguma. Right. Buguma is Nasari Togo. And water has carried it as far as Abonima and beyond, to Indama and all those creeks and to the Sombrero, to the estuaries of the Sombrero. That is Akukutoro. At least you have been in River State, so you have a fair knowledge of this geography I'm talking about. Right. So spatially, the thing is spreading. As it is spreading, certain things are happening that will not be seen on the surface again. It is only the scientific eye that will know. So these are some of the investigations I think that we should do later to be able to properly place, in environmental management, political environment matters a lot. Whatever we do in life now is decided by policies and politics. So those persons in the Senate or the National Assembly should be able to be armed with these scientific reports so that when they go into their legislative laboratory, they are properly informed.
All right. Sadly, our time is up, and we do need to wrap it up now. But thank you so much for your time. I mean, the amount of time we've had already is not enough to exhaust this conversation. So I'll definitely be reaching out again. So we expend more time for these conversations that need to be had. But thank you so much, Sarah, for making time to join me on the conversation this morning. I appreciate you greatly, and I hope you have a great day.
Gabriella, thank you. We should always note that anything we do to the environment, we do to ourselves. We do to ourselves, and we should be responsible. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you. Thank you as well. Thank you as well. On that note, we're going to wrap it up on this conversation. We'll take a quick break, and when we return, I'll be having conversations with my guest from Two Shomes. Don't go away.
And stimulating talk. Nigeria info, number one for talk.
This is is Nigeria Info.